Guys, it's been a while. The last time I made a video and uploaded it to YouTube was literally 2 years ago. 2 years ago! But I've been up to a lot. But I'm gonna get straight to the point, and I'm gonna say that after years of working hard, grinding, staying up studying for orgo, physics, all those complicated questions and tests, I am beyond happy and grateful to say that this summer, I will finally be starting medical school. Isn't it crazy how fast time flies? When I started this channel making videos, I was just starting my undergrad at UM. And now I'm about to start med school. One of my favorite things about all this is that I will be staying close to home. I'm gonna be staying in South Florida because I will be attending the College of Osteopathic Medicine at Nova Southeastern University. But to update everybody who's like, bro, this guy hasn't made a video in forever. Or if you've never watched any of my old videos and you're like, who's this guy shouting in front of a camera? So I graduated from my undergrad in 2021 with a degree in athletic training from the University of Miami. And then right after that, I did a 2-year pre-med post-bacc program at the University of Florida, which I ended in 2023. So at the time in 2023, when I finished the program, my initial plan was to apply to med school that cycle, like the summer of 2023. But here's the thing, and I'll be very honest, I barely studied for the MCAT. My philosophy was if I could do well in some tests, I could do well on the MCAT, right? Wrong. After 1 month of cramming for the MCAT that summer of 2023, I did horrible. When I got my MCAT score back, I knew that unless I paid somebody from a med school admissions team $1 billion, which I don't have, I knew that I was not getting into med school that cycle. So I decided to get a job and work full time. Since my background is in athletic training and sports medicine, I got a job as an athletic trainer at a children's hospital here in Miami. Part of that job also required me to be an athletic trainer at a high school in the afternoons. So pretty much in the mornings, I was working in clinic with an orthopedic surgeon, and then in the afternoons, I was an athletic trainer for a high school. So for the past 2 years, from the summer of 2023 all the way up until this past May, that's what I've been doing. Now here's where it gets a little bit crazy. So from October 2023 all the way up until June 2024, I was also studying for the MCAT. And no, when I started studying for the MCAT, I didn't cut work hours or anything. I was working anywhere from 40 to 50 hours a week and studying for the MCAT at the same time. Now you might be asking yourself, Danny, why didn't you take some time off to study for the MCAT? That is a very common thing with pre-med students. They take some time off after graduation, maybe a year off, 6 months off, and all they do is study for the MCAT, maybe even work part-time or work in a job that doesn't require a lot of hours. So you might be like, Danny, why didn't you do that? Well, here's the thing. I'm privileged to live in this amazing room. But who pays for this amazing room? My dad, because he pays the mortgage of the house. My dad, I really do love him, and he's made a lot of sacrifices for me, but he's very, very Cuban. So his mentality was, Danny, if you want to keep living under this house, you have to work. And I really tried. Even before applying to the job, I was like, Dad, what if I don't work? I just studied for the MCAT, I really have to. And just like any Cuban dad, he laughed at me, gave me a 10-minute speech about how hard his childhood was in Cuba. And he pretty much told me that if I want to keep living in this house, I would have to work and study at the same exact time. And looking back at it, in this journey, working full-time and studying for the MCAT at the same time was probably one of the hardest, but also one of the best things that I possibly could have done. I learned how to manage my time, I learned how to study effectively, and I also learned so much just by working my job. So I took the MCAT again exactly June 20th, 2024. When it came to applying to med schools, I did the throwaway technique, which is when you apply to one school, right, from both DO and MD, and you submit your primary, and then when you get your MCAT score back, you submit to all the different schools. So once I got my MCAT score back in July, I submitted my primaries to a bunch of other schools. Luckily, that cycle went really well for me, and I was fortunate to receive a lot of interviews. And from September to December, I was doing those interviews. With that being said, I did enjoy myself. That summer after I took my MCAT, I think literally 2 weeks after I took my MCAT, I went on a trip to Iceland, Denmark, and Germany. So yeah, I know that was long, but that's pretty much my recap of what I've been up to. I really want to get back on the YouTube grind because when I started this channel, the whole vision was make videos that I wish I would have been able to see before I started college. Now I want to apply that same concept, but make videos that I wish I would have been able to see when I was going through the whole pre-med process, the whole med school application process, and the whole med school journey in general. Guys, that is it for me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. And always, always, always remember to stay hydrated.